Well, you know what they say, fifth or fourth or seventh millionth time is a charm of trying to record this video, so welcome back to Inferno Utility Guide. Our last video was the Mirage Utility Guide, so we're going to be doing one map at a time, kind of as I figure stuff out, we're going to be recording it. So, T-side Inferno, there's quite a bit of smokes we need to learn, quite a few of them that I came up with on my own, so feel free to leave a comment saying which one was your favorite, and make sure to like and subscribe and chill out, because 50% of you are watching not subscribed. You know, the whole shill of YouTubers nowadays. Anyways, doesn't matter. But so first smoke is first. Fnatic top banana smoke. What the smoke would allow you to do is essentially smoke off top banana and give you an easier time of taking it with like mollies, utility slashes, etc. So you want to come into this corner, you want to aim at the bottom of this kind of wooden peg thing, and then just jump throw your smoke. As you can see here, there's a little bit of a gap on that right side. However, most teams and most players should clear that automatically because CTs like to sit on top of the sandbags, in front of the sandbags. This is not an uncommon angle to be. So if you're throwing the top banana smoke, just make sure your team is clearing that because you are going to get shot in the face if you don't. The next if you're throwing this smoke, you can also throw the window flash. So to throw the window flash, you come up onto the first step here, stand in front of this pole, take your flash out, aim at the corner of this window or just above it, and then just jump throw. It blinds everyone looking at banana, and it helps your teammates move up on the left side of the wall. The next piece of utility, this is one that I came up with, but it's a fast B CT smoke. Super useful to use, super useful to throw if you're doing a faster play towards B. So what you want to do is you want to come up to this shadow here. There are going to be two rocks, you can see them here touching. So what you want to do is you want to put yourself right in the middle of where they're touching. So what I do is I follow this point up until I get there. Then what you want to do is you want to aim at the middle of this chimney here, and you are going to run forward until your crosshair hits that, and then jump throw, like so. Easy, 6.5 second smoke. Love to throw it, need to use it. Moving on to our B smokes, the first one I'm going to show you is coffins. So there are two different coffin smokes you can throw. So the first one you line up with the middle of this ball and this ball, kind of like so, and you just left click throw. Now this one will just bounce once, smoke off coffins, make sure there's no gaps, etc., all that good stuff. Then this smoke here for the one way is super useful because it essentially leaves a gap for your opper to support you guys up banana. So what you want to do is you want to aim to the right of this little knob here and up as well in line with this top little knob here, and then just throw. And it'll land inside the coffins, leave a pretty big gap on the left, but if you have an opper or a third entry rifle kind of just watching for those legs to come across, you know, you're nading it because you can bait the left gap here, so you know they're likely going to be somewhere here and watching. It isn't my favorite smoke to throw, but if utilized well, then it's a good smoke. Moving forward, we have my CT smoke. So what I like to do is I like to come up to the corner of the half wall here. Then you kind of see how the scuff of this wall likes to move. It kind of goes straight and then down. So what I like to do is kind of right before it goes down, I aim right above here in line with this corner, and then just left click throw. Smokes off CT, easy peasy. So now that we know our two smokes, there's a really important flash to learn as well. If you are the player throwing the coffin smoke, you can also throw a god flash for your team. So what you want to do is you want to line up kind of with this paint scuff right to this black kind of line here and right in the middle there. So you kind of see how I'm lining it up, and you want to take your flash out and jump throw. And this flash is the God Flash because it blinds literally everyone on the site, everyone CT, coffins, etc. The important thing to learn for that flash, though, is if your team is on this right wall looking towards site, they're going to be blinded because it pops right here. So what they need to do is they need to fight on the left side first, wait for it to pop, and then explode onto the site and take their shots. So now that we know the flash, let's move on to the mollies. So the first molly we can throw is dark. So this is an easier lineup. I don't like the boost where you're on this corner because it's using, as you know, a boost. It's using some choppy movement. You know, the person that might throw it might miss their jump or something like that. It's not necessarily super useful, and it just takes a little bit more time to line up. Whereas this dark smoke, you can just come into this corner, aim in the middle. You kind of see how that same black dot that you lined up the God Flash with, you move over until you're in the middle between this kind of scuffed paint and this wall right in the middle. You take your molly and jump throw. And a molly is dark, easy peasy. The next molly to know is the new box molly, which you come in between the barrel and the wooden plank here. I like to aim at this corner here, this slanted tile right in the middle of it, and I jump throw. There are a lot of different lineups, like some lineups will tell you to aim here, here, here. It's kind of all over the place, but this is super easy because it's just right in the middle, and then you just jump throw. Covers new box, works just as well as all the other ones. Now for first and second oranges, there is a molly. However, it's a little bit of a temperamental molly because it sometimes works and then it sometimes doesn't. So what you want to do is you want to come into this corner here between the wall and the barrels. You want to look at this first tile here and you want to jump throw. Now the reason this molly is a little bit temperamental is because it takes like a second or two for the molly to start spreading down. So that's just something to keep in mind in case you throw it and you're like, oh, I didn't necessarily clear it out. It's a really 50-50 molly. That doesn't always give you the results that you want, unfortunately. Now for some CT util. What I like to throw really off the start of the round is the Furia one way. So I'll show you guys that right now and then follow it up with a car flash. So what you want to do is you want to come into this corner here. You want to take your smoke out and you want to aim right at this junction here and you just want to left click throw. So this will leave a gap in the far right side of car that'll let your teammate kind of peek and take advantage of while not being mollied out, taking damage that way. However, something important to know with this smoke is that if you don't have the best spawn for banana, the T side will actually beat you up here and they will likely pre-fire the corner before you come up. So in tandem with this smoke that I throw, I like to throw the car flash. So the car flash is you come up into this corner here of CT, you aim roughly in this area here. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect. You can kind of throw it, but the closer to the wall you can get it without bouncing off the roof, the better. So I like to just kind of throw it here. So left click, throw, and it pops right above the roof and it blinds banana, letting your teammates peek kind of with immunity. Super useful to know. The other smoke that is useful to know is the banana retake smoke. So what I would often recommend is if you are a banana player, you are either using your util early to fight for banana or you're holding off on it and you're using it to play retakes or to stop execs, etc, etc. So if you happen to get exec on and you're retaking, you can come into this corner to smoke off banana. You aim at the middle, rather, this pole right here, just right on the antenna and then just jump through. Wow, that really glitched out for some reason. Holy shit. What the hell? I've never had that happen to me before. Hold on. That's a blooper. What the hell? Because now it's not happening. Okay, that was really weird. Anyways, okay. That doesn't happen very often, but we'll make sure that it doesn't. And then here, and then just jump through. And it'll bounce off the invisible ceiling, bounce off the two walls here, and it lands right in the middle. Good to use. Alright, A smokes and A utility are pretty tricky to learn, so these are a lot of the lineups that I learned myself. So we're going to start with a big pit smoke from Mexico. So what you can do here, so this will be in tandem with the mini pit smoke that I will show you in a second. So with this smoke, what you want to do is you want to come into Mexico, throw yourself into this wall here, and then aim following the frame of the wall up to this point here where the roof meets the wall. So when you're there, take out your smoke and jump throw. On its own, the smoke is not very useful. However, with the mini pit smoke, it's actually super good as a wall cross smoke. The next thing you want to do here for your team while you're in this position and you throw that smoke so that your team can easily clear lane, what you can do is you can take a flash and whoops, I wanted my op here. And you aim following this really weird texture. You want to aim at this corner here and just jump throw the flash. And so this flash is super useful because it will blind anyone that's playing on porch, anyone that's playing on lane, and then anyone that is holding arch from this angle. So say you have an opper that's holding this angle here, they will be blinded. However, if an opper is holding the back kind of like sliver angle here waiting for a peak, the flash doesn't flash them off. So just to keep that in the back of your mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rethrow that big pit smoke and I'm going to show you the lineup of the little pit smoke. Alright, now the little pit smoke is you go to the right side of the bench and put yourself in the corner with the wall and aim at the bottom of this corner here, as you see, and then just jump throw the smoke. And it'll bounce off the corner there and land in front of mini pit. And the other smoke faded, however you guys get the point. It creates a nice little wall. They can spam through it. However, what you would have your teammates do in apartments is molly big pit, molly little, or molly graveyard. Make sure that the attention is kind of on pit as you're splitting onto the site. From here, important utility to note is the moto smoke. So if you come up to this wall here of mid and make sure that you can't see this portion of the wall, so as soon as you kind of like walk up to it, it's also a pretty forgiving smoke, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Aim at the corner of this potted plant and left click throw your smoke, and it'll bounce off the roof, bounce off the wall, and land right in the middle there without any gaps. Perfect. From alt mid, I like to throw two different arch smokes. So the first arch smoke here is on the vine wall, kind of underneath the bridge. You put yourself into this corner. Now this is for like a faster A play because you can come right out of spawn, you can throw it really fast, it lands fast. So what you want to do is you want to kind of where you see this black dot here, you want to aim at the right at the top of the roof line and just jump throw. And it'll bounce, pop right in the middle. Super useful. Easy peasy. The next arch smoke that I like to throw is coming up alt mid. I like to put myself on this corner. This is a super forgiving smoke, so oftentimes I literally just walk onto it. I aim at this antenna here, and then I throw. However, for the sake of the lineup, I will show you that I line up on this corner here, and then I left click throw on the very tip of the antenna. And it smokes deep arch, super useful, super nice, super easy to throw too. For apartments, there's really two smokes, or two pieces of util rather, that you really need to know. The lurk smoke and then the chimney flash. So for the lurk smoke, you want to come to this rag, kind of where the middle of this white line is. What you want to do is I kind of walk backwards until my back is on the wall, kind of looking at this white little speck here, as you can see there. Then what you do is you aim at the corner of this white tile and then just left click throw. And you don't need an op to throw these smokes, by the way. I'm just using it to easily show the lineups for it. So now for the chimney flash, you come up to this little wooden slant here. You crouch and you look just at the middle of the chimney here. You have to be careful because if you look too high, then what'll happen is your flash will bounce off the top of the roof and fall down, and you've wasted a flash. So you want to kind of look more in the middle of it in line with this random scuffed brick here, and then just throw. And that'll pop right above the balcony, so if anyone's playing actually on the railing, they'll be blind, and then pit will be blind as well. These are super good flashes to know. In the event that you get into a post plant on A and have a smoke left over, or you killed mini pit, or you killed pit and you picked up a smoke, what you can do is you can smoke off moto by going into this corner here and aiming a smoke just honestly right in the middle of this lantern and just jump throwing. And what it'll do is it'll bounce off this wall and land right in the middle here, preventing any CTs from crossing. So if you have two people in pit, say is planted for pit, you can have double up smokes and you waste 30 seconds of time off the clock. As an ACT player, I oftentimes like to hold my utility just to kind of make sure that everyone is ready for an exec that'll eventually come your way because it's easier to slow down the T side with util than it is just with praying to God that all three of your teammates on A are able to hit all your shots. But the one smoke that I will throw is the top mid G2 smoke to help my player get across mid to lane or to get into apartments, followed up with some flashes. So what I do is I go into this corner here, I aim at the top right corner of this metal thing, and I just jump throw. As you can see, it bounces, lands right in the middle, and it's all good there. So with that, while you throw that smoke, your other player is going to be going into apartment. Say they want to fight mid. What you want to do is you want to come here. Don't jump throw your don't like running jump throw your flash, because what that might do is it'll pop up behind those apartment roofs and it won't leave anyone blind. What you want to do is you kind of want to aim with this little corner here up to there, and you want to just walking throw the flash, and it'll pop right above the balcony and it'll leave absolutely everyone in ultimate blind. Another piece of util that's good to know is a nade that can be thrown off the barrel here. And what it'll do is it'll land on the balcony or just in front of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our bot here. We are going to place him on this railing here. Place, back off. So he's there. He's about to jump into apartments, but we know better. So what you want to do is you want to go onto the barrel here. You want to line up your nade with this little wooden peg here. And what you're going to do is you are going to run, and then you are going to throw your nade by the time your crosshair hits the very edge of the roof, like so. There we go. So that did tons of damage, pops right beside them. So the thing that you want to, this nade will just take a little bit of practice, because if you throw too early, it'll bounce off the ceiling and it'll bounce off the roof. Or if you throw it too late, say you hold on to it, you're just going to fall off the bicycle and you're not going to quite get it. So the timing is super important for this one. I recommend practicing it. And you can see just in the bottom left corner that I did hit him. That concludes my Inferno utility guide. I hope you guys found some of it useful. If you did, let me know down in the comments. Maybe like and subscribe, all that kind of good stuff, but honestly, you don't even have to. These utility guides are more just as much for myself as they are for everyone else. So hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye-bye.